All right, so I'm back here in the next build update. You guys can see, wow, it's complete. It ain't pretty, or it is, depending on who you are, but it looks pretty good. It's definitely got an echo, same as before. It sounds a little bit more echo than before, so maybe that smooth surface might have helped a little bit, maybe it didn't, but let's just say with all this tape in here, it was almost a whole roll. So I could say this could take out maybe 0.1 cubes of space just in tape. Plus, if you fill all the little holes that might have been in leaks, I don't think there was many. I had most of them taped off, but how does that look, guys? Let me know in the comments. For a single 10-inch subwoofer, it's right around a 5.5 to 1 ratio, fourth order right now with it inverted with all that space in the cubic sealed section. It's right at 6.5 cubes, well 6 cubes after sub displacement and wood, so like 6.2, 6.3, and then it's around 1.1 cubes sealed. So yeah, right around a 5 to 6 to 1 ratio. The only area, it's a little loud, sorry. The only area that I didn't tape is in this back loading wall here. So this loading wall right here, I didn't tape this area just because it's going to be a removable panel. I'm probably going to end up taping it just so it looks good, especially when I do a couple more videos on camera. So this is the only panel I didn't tape on. But if you look back here closely, oh, it's dark. But yep. You can see I didn't tape even the creases and the corners. I did everywhere in the box except on the loading wall area. So if I ever remove it, then that's how it's going to be. So let me know what you all think in the comments, and that's a build update. So what I'm about to do now is go ahead and add the port and then include in the video a build update on that. So right now, currently, it's pretty big. This is right at around 9.5 inches wide by 14 inches tall. So what I'm about to do is go from 9.5 wide, 14 tall. I'm gonna probably make the port shrink it the smallest I've ever had it, and go right at where the port area needs to be for 6 cubes. So 6 times 16, not 6 times 16. That's normally what people would go by, is 14 to 16 square inches of port per cube. So if I did 16 times 6 cubes, so that would be right at the size of the subwoofer cone area, which isn't going to be efficient. So I'm actually looking at doing around 50%, 40 to 50% cone area. So 40 to 50% cone area, the port's going to come up to like right here. So I know before I would stop gaining after the 3rd baffle of wood, if you remember in the previous video, if you haven't checked that out for how I tested the port. But what I'm going to do is just literally not worry about score, not worry about looking at all of the math and stuff, but I'm just going to go ahead and add 4 baffles and then put in a flare here, and this will probably be closed off to around 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches. So then it'll be 14 times 3, so that'll end up being right at 30 to 40 square inches, which is under 50% port area. And that's going to open up the lows a lot, but it's going to lose the high output, so I'm not going to be near as loud output peak wise on the higher frequency. That looks pretty good. That'll work. So that doesn't look pretty, but it worked. It sealed it off. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. Stay tuned for more updates. So let me go ahead and work on this port, and then I'll get back to y'all in the same video with more info after the port's done. Here we go. So I got the port down to where I wanted it, as you saw in the video yesterday. If you haven't watched already, go ahead and watch it before I reduce the port and do some adjustments. So I just wanted to see how low I can get it with a proper port area based on an average ported enclosure. So a ported enclosure was normally, this is around where the port area should be, but being a big ratio 4th order, my port area needs to be wider for this to get a good output. So right now with the way this port is, it does a 142.6 dB to a burp to clipping. Definitely has it really peaky frequency range as well, but I could play down to 15 hertz as you saw in the demo. If you didn't, go ahead and watch the demo as well. And as you saw as well with, hey, all the tape I got in there. So yep, and it's really tight fit to get in there to visually see anything, because I can't fit nothing more than my hand, which I don't like. So opening this up slightly more. So stay tuned for another video as well. I'm going to do more port adjustment on the reducing scale instead of the adding scale to show you the difference in how I work with that to increase SPL as well as output. So it's about to be loud real quick. There's the motor in there. Definitely sealed off. I finished taping in the back too, so I just got to tape a little more around the wood, and then that'll be completely sealed off with tape throughout the whole box. And that's just the rest of this build update. Go ahead and hit the like button. Thanks for always watching, and let me know what y'all thoughts are on how big this port is. This looks more ideal for a really low tuned fourth order box or even ported enclosure concept, but probably looking at doing 3 baffles of wood instead of 4 in the chamfer port area, maybe even 1 at less than that. So stay tuned for the video as well for that, so you'll get to see how I do that. So I'm not a whole SPL. I just like to get the most bang for my buck with what I have currently. So that's why I do all these tests, and it makes it look like an SPL build, but it's really not. It's just getting the most output as possible and be efficient with it. And trial and error, because I didn't have it being inverted before, and now it's inverted. So going from inverted to mounted regular, and then pretty much get to see the difference in output, and as well as see bandwidth and give you all some feedback on that. So that's something you can learn from my build with your own concept if you want to go into inverting your box, your subwoofer from your box, to see how you gain or lose and how your frequency response changes. So anyway, that's it. It's not the prettiest, but it works. So, and there, my subsonic set where it needs to be, LPF, all of that. Hopefully those videos helped you guys out. Got my gain set, so I did all the videos on that too, so check those out if you haven't already. And stay tuned for a video soon on tuning my box to the proper spec with the box subwoofer being inverted with a 6:1 ratio, fourth order for a single 10. And then we'll see how it does on the meter, as well as some more demo footage. Hope you all enjoyed the demo of the 15 hertz and up demo. If you haven't, go ahead and check that out. And that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Later.